Hello viewers, welcome to Tradabulls. So Nifty this week expiry was closer somewhere 24,550 mark. So this is fifth day markets were in completely under tight narrow range in between 24,700 to 24,500. So last week the range was about more than 850 points, but this week around 194 points. So which is not even 1/4 of last week's range was formed. And banks and IT also somewhat creating positivity, and IT was creating new all-time highs. So today it's touched 46,000 mark also, and banks are steadily above 53,200 mark. And only worrying factor is about Reliance. So Reliance this week it's almost all more than 3.7% damage happened, and this month around 2.5% damage happened. So clearly the Reliance impact was on Nifty. So now Nifty was under tight situation. From last 5 days it was completely under narrow range. Now if we observe, we are close to year end and another 2 more weeks to close the yearly candle. So now Reliance is about 21.5% away to the all-time high, whereas mid-cap about 2.5% away to all-time high, and Fin Nifty was around 2% away to all-time high, and IT was, it's anyhow all-time high, and banks about 2.3% away to all-time high, whereas Nifty around 6.6% away to all-time high. And when we compare the last recent swing of Nifty, which is 26,277 to 23,250 or 266, I think. So more than 3,000 points swing has created, and in that almost all 1,500 to 1,600 points, which is 50% of the latest swing, whatever the downswing, cleared by 50%, which is 24,850 mark. Now, since last Thursday it was created 24,857 mark, and now today's close was somewhere 24,550 mark. So last Thursday to this Thursday, close to 300 points negative for the Nifty, and this entire week since last 4 days it was just creating 200 points range, even not even 200 points range, about 194 points range created. So yeah, exactly 194 points range created. So now Nifty is expecting to break out either side, either 24,700 mark or 24,500 mark. So there are two important levels as per the Nifty's latest data, that is, so we are clearly mentioning in our expert view, this is new feature from Tradabulls, that is best fair value. So you can check any equity for the best fair value, and even indices also the best fair values. So now the Nifty's best fair value is indicating at 24,462, and as per midterm trend 24,116, and as per long term trend 24,054. All three trends, short term, mid term and long term, three trends are indicating positivity for the Nifty, and maybe it may take clearly support at 24,462. So the next resistance points would be 24,797, which is close to 24,800 mark, and there is one bigger resistance from two different trends, that is 24,991 and 25,018. So these two we can call it as confluence points. So clearly Nifty is indicating 25,000 would be the major resistance as per short term trend and mid term trend. So one is indicating at 24,991 and one more is indicating at 25,018. But another time we need to close above this 24,797. Last Thursday, the high was 24,850 mark, but it didn't sustain above that 24,797 mark. So this entire week, it didn't touch that level also. So now Nifty is expecting to move towards upper side, so that is 24,800 level. So once it closes above that level, so the next resistance is indicating at 24,991, which is close to 25,000 level as per mid-term, and 25,018 as per short term. So these two would be the major resistance points in upcoming days. So anyhow, 2 more weeks are there to close the yearly candle, monthly candle, quarterly candle, half yearly candle. All the 6 time frames candles would be closed by another 2 weeks time. So as of now, 6.6% away to all-time high, which is another 1500 points or 1600 points are required to clear the all-time high. And as per trader view, so there are many important analysis, Gann analysis, Fibonacci retracement and extension, pivot point analysis. So especially as per Gann analysis, so since last 4 days, Nifty is in between 45 degrees to plus 45 degrees to minus 45 degrees in terms of intradays. So today our application suggests that 24,683 is one important level for positive 45 degrees, and today's high was 24,675. So clearly these two are close to each other. So 24,683 was the positive number and today's high was 24,675. So 45 degrees angle didn't break, positive side, and even negative side also 24,526 is the minus 45 degrees angle, and today's low also 24,528. So upper side just 7 points away it was to clear the positive side, and even negative side also just another 2 points away. So we can see how the expiry day was closed within the range of about 147 points. So even yesterday's range also about 108 points, and this entire week the range was about 194 points. So upside 24,705 and downside 24,510. And as per weekly, 24,791 is the positive number to move upside, whereas 24,477 is the negative number to move towards downside. So this number also, the positive and negative number also very close to that plus 90 degrees and minus 90 degrees. So here 24,705 is the high for this week. So 24,791 is suggesting for positivity, and the negative side also 24,510. So here it is 24,477. So both intraday as well as weekly data, it was under tight range only. And as per monthly data, so already Nifty was above that bullish number, that is 90 degrees of monthly's data, that is 24,296, which is 24,300 level. So for this entire week, entire month, the next 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, so 24,300 would be the major support for Nifty. So already it's cleared 24,850 level also, which is 405 degrees angle. So from there it was almost 300 points fallen down, and now it is sustaining above that 24,500 mark. So if it breaks 24,700 at least for half an hour to 1 hour candle, so we may expect 25,000 very soon. So 25,000 is the 24,800 to 25,000 are the next probable numbers in the next 2 weeks. And Fibonacci retracement and extension also it is indicating 25,024 would be the 138.2% of this month's range. And last month high was somewhere 24,537, and today's close is also above that last month's high. So 24,537 was last month high, and 24,548.7 was today's closing. So still Nifty is closed above last month's high. So these are the some scientific evidences. Nifty clearly going ahead, and 24,800 to 25,000 mark. And Bank Nifty, it's 53,200 today's closing, and last month high was 52,760. So Bank Nifty and Nifty both are trading above last month's high. And here as per Fibonacci retracement and extension, 53,895 and 54,600 are the next probable numbers for Bank Nifty. And IT, it's 47,000 would be the next probable number for this month, that is 161.8%. So today it's already touched 46,000 mark. So the next 2 weeks we may expect another 1,000 points for IT also. So both banks and IT are clearly moving towards positive side, whereas Reliance clearly it is moving downside. So the Reliance impact was clearly on Nifty. So it's 6.6% away to all-time high. In terms of points, nearly 1700 points are required to clear all-time high for Nifty. And coming to sentiment analysis, so today's Nifty's positive side, 16 out of 50 and 34 out of 50 are negative side contributors. Majorly Reliance, L&T, HUL, NTPC and ITC are the downside contributors, whereas Bharti Airtel, Infosys, TCS, Tech Mahindra are positive side contributors. So from last 4 days, 31 out of 50 are negative side contributors and 19 out of 50 are positive side contributors. So majorly Reliance, HUL, Axis Bank, ITC and NTPC are negative side contributors, whereas Infi, Bajaj Finance, Shriram Finance, Bharti Airtel are positive side contributors. From last 12 days data, 31 out of 50 are positive and 19 out of 50 are negative. Reliance, ITC, HUL are negative side, whereas Infosys, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, TCS, Bajaj Finance, L&T, Titan are positive side contributors. So clearly here banking leaders and IT leaders both are moving towards positive side as per last 12 days data. So Infosys, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, TCS. So 2 leaders from IT sector and another 2 leaders from banking sector are heavily contributing towards positive side. So we may expect positive rally on Nifty for the next 2 weeks. And as per banks, so 9 out of 12 are negative today and 3 out of 12 are positive. So majorly HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, SBI are downside, whereas ICICI Bank, IndusInd Bank are positive side. And as per last 4 days data, 4 out of 12 are positive for banking and 8 out of 12 are negative. Majorly Axis Bank is creating downside contribution and positive side HDFC Bank and IndusInd Bank. So as per monthly data, none of the banks are in downside. All 12 banks are towards positive. Majorly the banking leaders, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank are doing good. And next SBI also from public sector, SBI also doing good. So as per banking data from last 12 days, all the banks are contributing towards positive side. And IT, so IT, no need to talk, everything, all 10 out of 10 counters are going towards positive side. Not only for daily, even weekly also 10 out of 10 are doing good, whereas monthly data also clearly indicating 10 out of 10 are positive. So all IT sector, entire IT sector is doing good. So all-time high, every day it is creating all-time high. So today's high was 46,000 mark. And the next 2 weeks, we may expect another 1,000 to 1,200 points from IT. So at least it may contribute at least that 1,200 points, it may contribute another 1.5 to 2% on Nifty. If banks also doing good, so banks already 10.5% upside from last 11.5 months. So we may expect another 2 to 3%, so which is close to all-time high. Just banks are 2.3% away to all-time high. So in next 12 days, if all entire banking sector is doing good, all banking leaders are doing good from both public sector and private sector, so we may expect to reach all-time high by end of this year's candle. And coming to index top 10s, so Nifty today it's 4 out of 10 are negative as per weekly data, and monthly data 6 out of 10 are positive. And banks, so as per weekly data, 7 out of 10 are doing neutral and 5 out of 10 are doing positive for monthly data. And just we have seen 10 out of 10 are doing good from IT side in the weekly data, whereas monthly also 10 out of 10 are doing good. So banking and IT are at least positive side. Only Reliance is the worrying factor. And coming to heat maps, so today's the best performers are Adani Enterprise, Bharati Airtel and Tech Mahindra 1.5 to 2% up, whereas downside NTPC, HUL, Hero Motors 2 to 2.5% down. So from last 4 days data, Bajaj Finance is top gainer, more than 4%, Wipro around 4%, Shriram Finance around 4% and Infosys around 3.5% up, whereas negative side HUL around 5.5% down, Tata Consumers also 5.5% down and NTPC around 3.76% down. So we are reaching yearly closing. So the top gainer was Trent, so around 130% up from last 11.5 months. Next M&M around 77.37% and BEL around 70% up, whereas downside majorly in IndusInd Bank, so which is 37% down and Asian Paints close to 30% down. I think Asian Paints would be the one of the best bet at this point of time. So close to 30% down from last 11.5 months. And next Nestle India is also around 16% down, whereas Tata Consumers also 15% down and Adani Enterprise and HUL both are around 12% down. So these 6 would be the best bets for long term: HUL, Adani Enterprise, Tata Consumers, Nestle India, Asian Paint and IndusInd Bank. So all these 6 would be the best bets. At least in next 1 year, we may expect another 10% up from these 6 counters. And coming to this red indication, so our Tradabulls application is giving one alert based on the OI change data. So here if you observe the OI change data, so here as per running data, so Nifty's latest options from 24,750 to 24,300, what are the puts and calls real-time data and where the call rating is happening and where the unwinding, all these information it is giving one particular outcome, that is downtrend. Since morning it is, though it was in tight range, it is clearly indicated that it's in downtrend, and market in the first half of the session, it was clearly indicated that today's settlement price would be in between 24,600 to 24,500 level. So exactly it was closer somewhere 24,550 mark. And coming to heat maps previous range percentage, so here we are giving beautiful analytics. So how many counters are closed above last month's high, last week's high, and also how many counters closed below last week's low and last week's high also. So here this week 6 counters are trading above last week's high and 10 counters are trading below last week's low. And as per monthly data, 13 counters are closed above last month's high, whereas 5 counters are trading below last month's low. So at least based on this data, we may expect some positivity from Nifty, and even quarterly data, half yearly data and yearly data also there. So 33 out of 50 counters are trading above 2023's high. Out of 50, 33 counters are trading above 2023's high. And only 2 counters are doing last year, that is 2023's low. So what are the 2 counters? I think IndusInd Bank and HUL and Asian Paint. So HUL and Asian Paint are trading below 2023's low. So 2023's low, 2 counters are trading, HUL and Asian Paint, and 41 counters, 33 counters are trading above 2023's year high above. Okay, so in another 18 days, so year end candle will be closed and you can able to see how many are trading above 2024 price above and 2024 price low also. So here ETFs also there, and how many ETFs are trading above last month's high or last quarter high or last year high. So all 6 ETFs are trading above last year's high, and even banks, if you see, banks also 2 counters are trading above last month's high, and here yearly's data, if you observe, 12 out of 6 are doing good, trading above last year's high, 2023 year's high above. 6 counters are trading. Only 1 counter is trading below of 2023's lows. IT, so out of 10, 9 counters are trading above 2023's high, and even monthly, if you see, 9 out of 10 counters are doing above last month's high. So only 1 counter which is above 61.8%, that is LTTS. Except LTTS, all remaining 9 counters are trading above last month's high. Whereas banks, if you see, how many counters are trading above last month's high? 2 counters, that is HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank, are trading above last month's high, and none of the counters are trading last month's low below. And weekly also, none of the counters either trading above last week's high or trading lows below of last week low, and all are trading in the range of last week range. So that's all about today's analysis. So from last 4 days data, Nifty was under tight range, that is 24,700 to 24,500. So clearly market is expecting for a breakout, either 24,700 or 24,500 below. So if it closes above 24,700 on any day basis, so market may touch 25,000 mark, or if any day closes below 24,500 mark, market may come down till 24,000 levels. So the 2 ranges, so either upside is 25,000 and downside is 24,000 mark. So hopefully the next 2 weeks, all banking and IT industry is doing good. So IT may touch 47,000 mark, whereas banks may retest all-time high, that is 54,500 mark. So that's all about today's analysis. We'll meet our next analysis. Thank you so much.